We would like to announce the arrival of Mr. Khalid Hassan, Country Director of the International Labor Organization, Philippines, and the arrival of His Excellency Luc Vero, European Union Ambassador to the Philippines.
We also want to acknowledge the presence of our City Mayor, Honorable Joy Belmonte, and our Vice Mayor, Honorable Gian Soto. We would like to invite everyone to please be seated as the ceremony will begin in a few moments.
We would also like to announce the presence of Mr. Christoph Wagner, Head of Cooperation, European Union Delegation for the Philippines.
Everyone, all the guests have registered at the registration table. You may find our ushers, and they are ready to guide you to your sitting.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to announce the arrival of Mr. Troy Dooley, Officer in Charge, Head of Mission of the International Organization for Migration, Philippines.
We also have you as the Program Manager of the International Organization for Migration Philippines, Ms. Yuko Tomita.
Kindly settle down. We will begin in a few moments.
Again, may we remind our participants to ensure your registration. Our registration booth is located at the back of the covered walk.
For the invocation.
O God, Father of all, bless the migrant families who are forced into exiles from their native land. Let migrant parents be strengthened both in mind and body so that they may effectively work for the welfare of their family. Let the fathers, through their strength of character and honest dedication to work, set an evangelizing example of fidelity and self-sacrifice. Let the mothers, through their piety, maternal love, and guidance, ensure the education of their children. Let the younger generation experience in their family a strong support for their human growth and Christian maturity. let all of them be consoled and fortified by your word and sacraments. When they find themselves without someone near to fully understand their grief, to restore courage or to uplift their disheartened spirit with the tender call of kinship. And lastly, through the intercession of the Holy Family of Nazareth, let the migrant families be bearers of faith, schools of evangelization where the members learn to share with others the grace and light of Christ. Places where the gospel is transmitted and from which the gospel radiates, so that through the family, the story of salvation be attained. This we ask through Christ our Lord. Amen.
You may now be seated. Magandang umaga, Quezon City!
Magandang umaga, Q citizens!
In celebration of Quezon City Day, it is our greatest pleasure to welcome all of you to the ceremonial signing of partnership between the Quezon City government and the International Labor Organization.
My name is Roy Labrador, and I'm here today with my colleague Matthew Valliavilla on behalf of Public Employment Service Office, and we are truly honored to be here today as your Masters of Ceremony.
You know what, Miss Rai? I am very excited today because I'll be hosting a very important event. And this is a very historic event during the celebration of the Quezon City Day.
Tama ka dyan, Matthew. And I am in awe right now because today marks another milestone for Quezon City.
As I mentioned, I'm very honored and very thankful to our VIP today.
And speaking of VIPs, may we now call on the City Government Department Head of the Quezon City Public Employment Service Office to give us his opening remarks. A round of applause, mga ka-QC, to our PESO Manager, Mr. Rogelio L. Reyes.
To our beloved Mayor Joy Belmonte, distinguished guests, our ka-QC OFW family circles, and their officers and members, magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. We begin the week with extended commemoration of Quezon City Day, recognition of 144th birth anniversary of President Luis Quezon. We are proud to say that our beloved city has always reflected and lived up to the vision of its founder, that a dream city that is heaven for workers. Many of our fellow ka-QC set aside his work as a means to achieve their dreams in life. As more of our kababayans pursue the option of overseas employment, the local government of Quezon City has stepped up and scaled its institutional response programs and services to our ka-QC, OFW, and their families. Under the leadership of then Vice Mayor and City Council Presiding Officer, Mayor Joy Belmonte, City Ordinance Number 2500 Series of 2016 was passed, establishing the Quezon City Migrant Resource Center, MRC, and institutionalizing the City Migration and Development Council, MDC. The passage of this important piece of local legislation on migration governance, programs and services provision indicates a paradigm shift in how migration in all its phases, from pre-employment, pre-deployment, on-site, and upon return, is addressed. This time, local governments such as Quezon City are stepping up, becoming the national government's steadfast partner in protecting the rights and welfare of overseas Filipino workers and filling critical gap areas in policy, program implementation, and service provision. With the Department of Migrant Workers in place, makakaasa po ang national government magiging kaagapay sa pagbibigay serbisyo sa ating mga OFWs at kanilang pamilya para sa mapangalagaan natin ang kanilang karapatan at kagalingan. Under the leadership of our good mayor, we assure female and male ka-QC OFW and their families that local government of QC will be your every step of the way through the MRC at what stage you are in the migration journey. We thank the International Labor Organization for this partnership that enable us to further strengthen Quezon City's migration governance, policy and program development, and service provision through a gender-responsive MRC, help desk for our ka-QC, OFW, and their families. We express our gratitude to European Union for supporting local level initiative on strengthening migration governance and service provisions. We also count ourselves very fortunate in Quezon City for having dedicated national and local partners in government and among civil society, and the academe, the church, the development community, and the private sector in addressing challenges in migration and its maximizing opportunities presented. Nagkapasalamat din ako sa ating mga masisipag at magigiting na OFW family circles sa patuloy na pagkitiwala ninyo, pakipag-ugnayan, pakikibahagi sa gawain natin para protektahan ang mga karapatan at kilalanin at irespeto ang kagalingan ng ka-QC OFW ng inyong pamilya. Kayo ay kakapay namin na gawin ng sa mga komunidad pagkitiyak ng legal na maayos na paglalakbay ng mga QC patungo sa ating bansa. Handang tumulong ang Quezon City sa inyo, kababaihan, ka-QC o OFW ninyong pamilya. Pangalagaan at protektahan ng Quezon City ang inyong mga pangarap at karapatan. At sa QC, matutupad mo ang pangarap mong kababaihan, kalalakihan, ka-QC, OFW sa inyong sarili at pamilya. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat.
Thank you so much, Sir Reyes, for the opening remarks.
Yes, Ms. Rai, let me interrupt you. Let us also acknowledge the arrival of Ms. Maria Christine Josefina G. Balmes, Deputy Executive Director for Operation, Philippine Commission on Women. Thank you, ma'am, for coming and gracing our event. And now,
We also want to acknowledge the presence of the Country Program Manager of the United Nations Women's Philippines, We Empower Asia Philippines. Magandang umaga po, Ms. Rosa.
thank you, ma'am, for coming. And now, the much-awaited part of today's historical event, the ceremonial signing partnership between the Quezon City government and the International Labor Organization.
And now may we invite the Honorable Maria Josefina G. Belmonte and Mr. Calidasan to the proceedings with the signing of partnership.
We would like to invite our friends from the media to please approach to get a better picture of this historic ceremonial signing.
You, ano ba ang significance ng ating ceremonial signing for today?
A part of this partnership is to open the Migrant Resource Center within the City Hall compound that is poised to become the first ever one-stop shop destination for overseas Filipino workers and their families in the National Capital Region.
It is also set to boost the city's migration and development governance, program implementation, and service delivery.
Yes, Ms. Rai, MRC will cater to all types of migrants as well as permanent, temporary, and undocumented workers.
This will also handle cases and legal aid services which will be also made available, as well as the reintegration service such as livelihood skills training, reskilling, and retooling for those returning to these cities, and seminars and trainings for the OFWs and their family circles.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it's official. The partnership between the Quezon City government and the International Labor Organization has been signed. Congratulations!
And now, to commemorate this momentous event, of course, may we invite our honorable guests to please remain on stage for the photo opportunity together with our local officials present today. So we will do these photos by batches po, so we can still maintain the protocols. Okay? So please, our medias and our official photographers. So we will be doing the photos po here sa harap po ng ating stage. So let's give space po mga guests and to our local officials.
Okay, may we invite
Our VIPs and to have photo also with our City Mayor, Honorable Mayor Joy Belmont, Vice Mayor G. Soto.
Okay. May we request the second line to please prepare because we'll call your names after this photo op.
Okay?
And now, let's invite our local officials to
Officials,
join the photo opportunity.
Let's also invite our distinguished guests to join the photo ops.
Yes. Our special guest in the first row, we are inviting you to join this photo. Okay, smile to the camera, please. Thank you very much. Kindly settle down and please be seated. Thank you very much. Please be seated. Thank you very much. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome the Honorable City Mayor, Josefina G. Belmonte, for her keynote message. A round of applause, please.
Sa magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. To Mr. Khalid Hassan, the Country Director of the International Labor Organization, Philippines. To His Excellency Luc Veron, European Union Ambassador to the Philippines, sir. To Mr. Christoph Wagner, Head of Cooperations of the European Union Delegation for the Philippines, sir. To the Honorable Vice Mayor Gian Carlos Soto. To Mr. Troy Dooley, Officer in Charge of the Head of Mission, the International Organization for Migration, Philippines. To Ms. Rosalind Messina, Country Program Manager of the United Nations Women's Philippines / We Empower Asia Philippines. To Mr. Rogelio L. Reyes of our Public Employment and Services Office. To our other guests, Mr. Rex Marlo Varona, National Project Coordinator, ILO Safe and Fair Program. Ms. Katrina Pascasio, Program and Administrative Assistant, ILO Manila Bridge Program. Ms. Yuko Tomika of the IAOM. And we have with us Ms. Maria Christine Josefina G. Balmes, Deputy Executive Director for Operations, Philippine Commission on Women. And to the rest of our distinguished guests, again, good morning to everyone. Today, we continue to celebrate the birth of our founder, former President Manuel Luis Quezon, and for us, there is no more fitting way to render homage to his memory as an illustrious leader than by recognizing the principles that he had espoused in founding our beloved city. This is an opportune time for us to reflect on the bedrock upon which Quezon City was established. More than a center of political and economic power, we are proud to have built an inclusive haven for laborers and workers. 87 years ago, in President Quezon's inaugural address on November 15, 1935, he emphasized the government's role in the lives of ordinary workers when he said that, and I quote, "Protection to labor, especially to working women and minors, just regulation of the relations between the labor and capital in industry and agriculture, solicitous regard on the part of the government for the well-being of the masses are the means to bring about needed economic and social equilibrium between the components or the component elements of society," end of quote. Quezon City built its programs and services upon these same foundational principles of President Quezon. In Quezon City, we do not only invest in our workers, but we are invested in them. When I was vice mayor, our Quezon City Council passed Ordinance SP 2500 Series of 2016, also known as an ordinance creating the Quezon City Migrants Resource Center, or MRC. We envision the MRC as a venue to cater to all types of migrants, including permanent, temporary, and undocumented workers. It was intended to provide assessment and referral services, local employment facilitation, psychosocial first aid, and the provision of relevant information on migration through the OFW Help Desk. Case handling and legal aid services would also be made available, as well as reintegration services such as livelihood skills training, reskilling, and retooling for those returning to the city, and seminars and training to OFWs and their family circles. Further, in keeping with the city's strong advocacy for women empowerment and gender equality, the center would be tasked with developing gender-sensitive activities for migrant women workers. We are elated about this partnership with the International Labor Organization as this translates into the full implementation of our Migrant Resource Center Ordinance. Our goal is to honor our OFWs by taking swift action to respond to their needs and leading them to a future where they would experience positive, profitable, and successful cross-border journeys. Today, the MRC becomes the convergence of our intentions. Fast forward to today, we are reaping the fruits of our investments. Quezon City now stands as the most competitive city in the country. We do not only compete for titles and distinctions, we do so with the singular purpose of attracting businesses into our home city so that many more workers can carve out a decent living here in Quezon City. According to the 2021 Cities and Municipalities Index, in the highly urbanized cities category, Quezon City ranked highest in economic dynamism, government efficiency, infrastructure, and resiliency. We have also been, marami pong salamat. We have also been recently